It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the. It's just me and the fam. Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little Tay-Tay, that's my hype girl, that's my mascot. Little ones go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with them racks out. Stay inside the house, turned.
All right, we back. Robert Clark, Mississippi's first lawmaker after civil rights era, unalived at 96. He lived a long life and he looked good for 96. That's a good looking man for a 96-year-old. Lord have mercy. What did he look like at 12? So Robert G. Clark was born into a family of laborers in Holmes County, Mississippi, and was a descendant of slaves. His father, born a slave, influenced his perspectives on leadership and individuality. Clark earned a master's degree in education from Michigan before returning to Mississippi to teach. Clark was elected as Mississippi's first black lawmaker in 1967 and rose to the second highest leadership role in the state of representatives. Initially ostracized, he faced social isolation in the legislature after sitting alone and being ignored by colleagues. Over his 36-year career, he became chairman of both the House of Ethics and Education committees. Clark's advocacy included the establishment of an adult education program for black adults which faced resistance from local authorities. He overcame significant political obstacles, including a local state representative maneuver to keep him off the school board, ultimately winning elections against the opponent. He was elected as an independent initially. He later joined the Democratic Party as political dynamics shifted. He was honored in 2018 at the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum, recognizing his contributions to the civil rights. That's one museum I am not going to go to. Fuck that. My mama's from Mississippi. Clark experienced personal loss when his first wife, Essie, died of cancer, after which he raised their two sons. He remarried Joanne Ross and chose not to seek re-election in 2003. Clark's views on leadership and not following the crowd were shaped by lessons from his grandfather. He was committed to improving the educational and political landscape for black residents of Mississippi throughout his life. Rest in power, sir. Yes, Mr. Clark, that's that man's name, Robert Clark. He will be missed. We need more people like him. It's a damn shame. Mr. Clark, you will be missed, because, Lord, we got a bunch of, I still don't know why them Democrats sat their ass there with them signs last night. You should have walked your ass out with that man, 70-something years old, on a cane, and y'all sitting there with a damn sign. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. And then you wonder why people looking at you like you're punks. Because you are, you punks. Punks jump up to get beat down. Y'all remember that, right? Alright, y'all. We gonna do the flower thing one more time. Because this next one, we honoring. We giving flowers. We looking at it. And then we gonna go ahead and hear from one of these ladies we about to talk about. So give me a second. Let me go get my little flowers thing back up here. If I'm losing y'all or I'm boring you, let me know. I told y'all before that when it comes down to it, I'm all about, I'm all about Black history. So here we go. We are honoring her story. Black women shaping history and our future. I drew a picture of Chisholm. Anyways, the transition from Black History Month to Women's History Month serves as a dual celebration of black women's influence and achievements. Black women have historically been overlooked, but I am entertained. But their contributions are significant and transformative across various domains. Jasmine Crockett is mentioned as a contemporary political figure making waves with her commitment to justice. The legacy of Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman elected by Congress, is acknowledged as a foundational influence for future leaders. Black women have historically set fashion trends often without recognition. Designers like Anne Lowe, who created Jacqueline Kennedy's wedding dress, are highlighted for their overlooked contributions. Modern designers such as Anifa Oh my God, that name. I can't say it. Anifa M. and Aurora James are paving the way for black creativity to gain rightful acknowledgement in the fashion world. Black women have a rich legacy in the arts, exemplified by figures like Maya Angelou and, is it Angelou or Angelou? Somebody said Angelou. And contemporary artists like Bisa Butler. Their work continues to inspire and challenge societal narratives, emphasizing the importance of representation and the power of their voices. The entrepreneurial spirit of black women is showcased through historical figures like Madam C.J. Walker and modern entrepreneurs like Issa Rae and Alamide Olowe. I hope I said that right. These women are not only building the brands, but also creating cultural legacies and promoting ownership and empowerment. The history of black women is a continuous thread that informs future generations. It calls attention to the importance of recognizing and celebrating the ongoing contributions of black women across all sectors, and reinforcing that they are both history makers and shapers of the future. So, y'all give your flowers to them. And now, let's hear something from one of these ladies. I had to get this one down. I went to several websites so I could grab this one.
Trump seems to be, he has a problem with black people right now, it seems. And so many African Americans are nervous. And they're wondering, where are our leaders? They seem to have abandoned us. That's what we feel like, but is that true? What is going on?
As it relates to black leaders, I think that when we think of black leadership, we think back to the civil rights movement, and this may be the closest that some of us have ever been to a civil rights movement. I wasn't born during that time, but Lord knows it feels like the Jim Crow laws are all coming back. It seems as if they want to make sure that I have more encumbrances to upward mobility than, say, somebody else who just happens to lack the amount of melanin that I have. And so I think we were used to the photos of Martin Luther King kind of leading everybody, right? And we know that we had other amazing figures like the John Lewises of the world. We know that Rosa did her own movement. We know that there was always somebody. We had all these amazing leaders, and I think people are looking for that visual again because that's really the only thing that we know. But the reality is that a lot of this has been decentralized.
Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's
that people are allowed to kind of say, you know what, well, my lane is with the church, right? Like my pastor is one of those amazing leaders, Freddie Haynes. And so some people are like, you know what, I'm going to rock with the church folk. I'm going to do what they're doing, right? We know that Pastor Jamal Bryant has been very vocal as well, and he's been leading the charge on saying, you know what, don't spend your money at these particular stores. He has been very vocal. So there are people that are like, you know what, I'm gonna take my leadership from the church. Then there's other people that are like, we're the political leaders. Because back then, we weren't really in position like we are, right? I'm still only the 55th black woman to ever be sworn into the United States Congress. So we didn't really have like black leadership at the table. And I think that most people are like, well, you at the table. So you need to be the ones that kind of lead this charge, because all of the drama that we're experiencing is coming from that table that you sitting at. So holla at us, right? But I think that there were definitely people that signed up to go to Congress or go into elected office on whatever level they're on, and they signed up literally just to do the service. They didn't sign up because they were activists. They didn't sign up because they knew how to be activists. They signed up because they wanted to legislate in some way. And I think that saying that just because somebody may be a great lawmaker, they are also a great leader or also a great activist is kind of where we go wrong. I think that you have people that have a more of a natural inclination to be able to be the chameleons that you see. So some of the people that you see on the forefront, if you look at their background, they probably were already engaged to a certain extent in this type of advocacy before they ever got to Congress. And that's why it's easier for them to kind of pivot, because they're used to kind of being on the front line.
All right, so that was a few words from my favorite girl as of this year, Jasmine Crockett. I've been watching her for about a year now, really. She been putting her foot on their neck. That's all I can tell you. Has had her foot on their neck. So it's time for education. If y'all didn't know, we just had Mardi Gras. So let's check that out. We just had Mardi Gras down south on the 4th. So here we go.
Yo, it's too many, hey, it's too many, yo, it's too many, yo, it's too many lies, look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth, knocking them down every time I step in the booth, we ain't gotta lie, they know we the vibe, we living in proof, it's young conscious, shoot my life a movie, I live in a spoof, ain't no sticking around, I'm on the move, I'm checking the dudes, yeah, it's only us two, so you know we copping that coupe, we on the roof, smoking dope, look at the view, yeah, we used to chill on the stoop, now we out here breaking the news, it ain't shit you.
I think I'm gonna get me a new opener for good news, because the next story is good news too. But let's learn about Mardi Gras, y'all. This is stuff that some people don't know about, and if you grew up down there, you probably do. I was forced to learn it. I bit a damn baby in that goddamn thing. Oh, Lord. So Mardi Gras started in Mobile, Alabama. Did y'all know that? I bet y'all didn't know that. Although Louisiana typically takes all of the Mardi Gras shine, the celebration was originally born in good old Alabama. What's known as the city of Mobile was first a French colony. Way before any state lines were drawn, it was there that the concept of modern Mardi Gras was created. And to this day, Mobile's own celebration of Mardi Gras is one of the most memorable and historically significant gatherings recognized around the world. I had no idea. Every time I heard about Louisiana, I heard Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras used to be whites only. I believe it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna hurry up with that. I don't like those pictures. Like most aspects of American culture, Mardi Gras was once haunted by deep racism and segregation. The first parade to ever hit the streets of New Orleans, the Mystique Crew of Comus, specifically forbade black folks from participating or even attending the event. All gatherings by slaves and free men of color were prohibited. It wasn't until the early 1900s that black folks started celebrating the holiday in their own unique ways. I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. I would love to kick them in the nose. Zulu in Mardi Gras. Now, I knew a lot about Zulu. All I hear about is the Zulu. When most people think of Zulu, they immediately think of native South African tribe. But in New Orleans, I think of Shaka Zulu, really. But in New Orleans, Zulu takes on its own meaning as Black Social Club, which hosts an annual ball and other events during Mardi Gras. The organization, or crew, was founded in 1909 to combat segregation across the holiday. Oh, they got a bunch of them now. Crews and crews and crews. But Zulu is one of the biggest ones, for real. Mardi Gras Indians, yeah. Heard a lot about them, and they do exist. So when African slaves were forcefully shipped to Louisiana, it was Native American tribes that not only helped enslaved people escape the inhumane captivity, but also taught them how to live off the earth. From there, a beautiful relationship between Native cultures and Black Louisiana culture merged. Now the Mardi Gras Indians organize annually to pay homage to the people who helped Black folks during the American slavery. Let's not forget, some of them, unfortunately, did own slaves as well. And unfortunately, my family, at least, they disowned us because we mixed the blood. That's a sad thing about it. Some Native Americans, they weren't on our side. The German Coast Slave Rebellion. So we about to learn about that too. This is all about Mardi Gras. Enslaved Africans were constantly revolting against slavery. One of the most interesting and least learned about slave rebellions occurred in Louisiana during Mardi Gras in 1811. Known as the German Coast Slave Rebellion, the massive slave revolt was led by Charles Charles, a self-emancipated slave who came to Louisiana from Haiti. He led more than 500 rebels in one of the largest organized slave revolts in American history. Charles and other leaders were eventually caught unalived, and their heads were, and placed on poles along the river road. I'd rather go out like that than be somebody's porch. I'm just saying. Y'all ain't gonna strike me, goddamn. You gonna have to find it real hard to strike me. I've been studying y'all. The North Side Skull and Bones Gang. Oh, I remember them. I see them a lot. If you've ever been to Mardi Gras and spotted a group of folks dressed as skeletons, then you've probably seen the North Side Skull and Bones Gang. With the tradition dating back to 1819, participants drummed throughout the streets of the Treme neighborhood, also known as the nation's oldest black neighborhood. I hope it's still there, because I told y'all what they did during Katrina. Oh, Lord. They priced out people. The whole point of the annual North Side tradition is to honor the dead and celebrate the true meaning of Mardi Gras, the shedding of flesh. Yeah, I thought it just mean Fat Tuesday. I'm not Catholic, so I don't know. That's a Catholic thing if you didn't know. The music of Mardi Gras. I can't stand Zydeco. I don't know what they saying, but I do love those outside bands. Everything you love about Mardi Gras in New Orleans is probably because of black folks. Just take the music of celebration. Drawing large inspiration from jazz culture, the music of Mardi Gras is an ode to black American contributions to New Orleans, music as an art form, and the country as a whole. I told y'all, I'm going to learn you. If they going to take our month, I'm going to give you a year and another year till they shut me up. Mardi Gras was finally desegregated in 1992. What kind of bullshit is that? Does that little boy got titties? That little boy got titties. Yes, you read that right. It took until 1992 for annual celebration to be officially desegregated. I was 11. God dang. Specifically integrating carnival crews was a lot easier said than done. It took a black city councilwoman named Dorothy Mae Taylor to push the legislation which would give crews an ultimatum: either desegregate or dispel totally. Many white crews chose not to participate in the celebration as a result. That's your fault, god dang it. I just found out all of us could be richer if y'all weren't fucking racist. You know racism costs this country trillions of dollars? The fuck? Louis Armstrong at Mardi Gras. That man right there made me scared to play a trumpet, but damn if he couldn't play it. In 1949, thousands of Mardi Gras goers rushed to see New Orleans native Louis Armstrong. Should I call him Louis? Be crowned Zulu King. There's a thing I've dreamed of all my life, Armstrong told Time magazine, and I'll be damned if it don't look like it's about to come true. To be king of the Zulu parade. After that, I'll be ready to die. The parade itself was segregated, but Armstrong brought in a world of carnival celebrators. I bet he did. Moving on. An exception made for masks only at Mardi Gras. I just be trying not to get hit. When black folks were banned from celebrating the holiday, they started to wear masks to conceal their racial identity. But eventually, this trick was found out by the government, who would ban masks statewide, a law that is still applicable today. Things changed, however, when the state officially made Mardi Gras a holiday and specified that folks could wear masks, but only for Mardi Gras. In fact, all float riders must wear masks or paint their faces according to state law. That is ridiculous. Why the hell you gotta change your goddamn, you ignorant bastards? Gumbo. Shit, I need to make some gumbo soon. But you know how hard it is to find hen wings up here? Hen wings, not chicken wings. Hen wings and chicken wings are different. Anyways, the origins of gumbo, like many other New Orleans food, can be traced back to West Africa. The word gumbo comes from the West African word kinumbo, which means okra. Gumbo is a Mardi Gras staple. It's a winter staple. What the hell are you talking about? And I hate okra unless it's fried. Ugh, I don't like, it's the consistency for me. I can't stand the slime. I don't like slime. Yeah. I don't care what food. And the blackface controversy, because this shit right here ain't gonna stay on this screen too long. While native New Orleaners know and understand the meaning behind what looks like blackface, but is really an honoring of black history and slavery, that doesn't mean the entire world is on board. In fact, the Zulu crew often face backlash from folks outside the culture who don't understand the significance. Many have even called for legal and political action to prevent face painting tradition. Is this a black man? Oh, shit, it is a black man. I did not know. I wasn't looking at his neck. I was looking at them pink lips. I didn't realize that. That's a black man. Well, there you have it, y'all. That is Mardi Gras that y'all probably didn't know about. I know I didn't. Now let's move on. We still got some more stories, and they're not bad. They're not bad. I'm telling you right now, this next one is a great story. I promise you it's a great story.
And then the smoke